Naruto, God-level system author, Blue Water God. Chapter 171 Search. When he came to the residence of the Kainzu family and looked at the family that looked like a small town, Xianchen was stunned. Could it be that this is a top big family? I didn't expect the Kainzu family to be so powerful when they were brilliant. Xianchen shook his head and sighed. Looking at the Kainzu family at this time, Xianchen couldn't look directly at the down and out Kainzu family. Although these are two worlds, the two worlds are basically the same, which means that the world of Xianchen, the Kainzu family used to be so strong. Without alarming anyone, Xianchen sneaked into the Kainzu family. After catching a few people to check their memories, Xianchen went straight to the Kainzu family's clan library. Outside the heavily guarded clan library, Xianchen used a group illusion, and then swaggered into the Thousand Hand family clan library. Looking at the various ores piled up like mountains, Xianchen did not stop and walked directly towards it. These ores were used to forge ninja tools and were useless to Xianchen. When he got to the innermost part, he began to see some precious things, but Xianchen still didn't like it. What he wanted was the divine sword of Fuda Yuhan. In the deepest part of the clan library, Xianchen finally found the Buddha soul sword. After getting the artifact, Xianchen immediately left the Kainzu family. After leaving the Kainzu family, Xianchen rushed towards the old enemy of the Kainzu family, the Uchiha family. Xianchen went to the Uchiha family to see if he could get the Ten-Fist Sword and Yata Mirror. Although these two artifacts seem to be conceptual artifacts that open a kaleidoscope and awaken autonomously, who knows if there will be an entity. Just like the Futoya soul, it can be turned into the real body, and it can be turned into a spiritual weapon and armed with Suzu. Regardless of whether it is there or not, Xianchen has to go to see it, and see the collection of the Uchiha family. If there is any good thing, just accept it together. Coming to the Uchiha family, the base of the Uchiha family is not smaller than that of the Kainzu family. In fact, these families have developed into independent small villages. The old trick came to the treasure house of the Uchiha family, and Xianchen began to search. As long as he liked it, he would throw it all into the treasure of the king. Some useless but beautiful items were also thrown into the king's treasure by Xianchen. He, the king's treasure, have nothing, of course. He had to work hard to collect the treasure, fill up the treasure trove. After searching for the Uchiha family, Hyuga Tatsu did not find the Ten-Fist Sword and Yata Mirror, but instead got the Kizanagi sword. This Kizanagi sword is different from Okimaru and Uchiha Sasuke. It has an invincible blade, a blade that cuts everything, and also has the power to seal. I didn't expect the Uchiha family to actually have the Kizanagi sword. It doesn't seem to be in vain. Hyuga-chen played with the Kizanagi sword. There are many Kizanagi swords, including the Ten-Fist Sword, which is also a type of Kizanagi sword. As for which one is the strongest Kizanagi sword, Xianchen does not know. Anyway, this one in his hand is not weak. In terms of sharpness, it is no worse than Uohuo, and it is sharper than the Fudo Soul Sword. Its sealing power is not as good as that of the Ten-Fist Sword. In general, the Kizanagi sword is not bad, but in the hands of Xianchen, I am afraid that the value of the collection is greater than the practical value. After getting the Kizanagi sword, Hyuga-chen was satisfied and left the residence of the Uchiha family. After leaving the Uchiha family, Xianchen entered the system space to have a look, and found that Xue and Sarah were very harmonious, which made Xianchen very satisfied. After caring about Sarah, Xianchen left the system space. After Xianchen left the system space, Xue and Sarah, who were once good sisters, changed immediately. Sarah followed Xue fearfully, like a little maid. I'm very satisfied with your performance, so I won't punish you. Xue nodded with satisfaction. Sarah had a bitter look on her face. She wanted to complain to Xianchen just now, saying that Xue bullied her, but in the end she was cowardly, because Xue's punishment had already scared her, and she didn't dare to be alone now. Of course, Sarah did not file a complaint to preserve her self-esteem, because she felt that it was a shame to file a complaint, and one day she would have to find her way back. Xue secretly sighed in her heart, but fortunately Sarah didn't complain, otherwise a scolding would definitely be indispensable. After Xianchen came out, there was a strange look on his face, and he felt that Sarah's expression seemed a little wrong. However, Xianchen didn't think much about it. Next, Xianchen went to Xianchen's house, but in the end he got nothing, and Xiang's house was indeed poor, and there was no good thing that Xianchen saw. Afterwards, Xianchen visited other families in the country of fire, and Xianchen found nothing except a knife. This sword is not ordinary. The legendary demon sword Moromusa and Xianchen did perceive the power of evil from above, and this power can erode people's hearts. However, this little power is still far from eroding Xianchen. I feel like I can open a shop to sell knives, Xianchen said slightly. A few days later, the country of fire exploded, and all the families visited by Xianchen knew that their families' belongings had been stolen, so the whole country of fire was about to come. Xianchen not only got 3 knives, but also passed along a lot of valuable things, such as a large number of ninja kunai, shuriken, ninja knives, and some valuables. In particular, Things like detonating charms were all taken away by Rixiangchen, and all the big and small families were searched. If the things that Rixiangchen got were sold, Rixiangchen would definitely be the richest man in the ninja world. Looking for the news in the tavern, Rixiangchen also knew that the Sun Xiang clan and the Hui clan were at war, and the iron-headed baby of the Hui clan actually offered a reward for his head. Just not far from the battlefield, let's go and see the battles of this era. Rixiangchen smiled and left the tavern in an instant. After Rixiangchen approached the battlefield of the two clans, the shouts of killing kept coming, and the confrontation between the Hinxiang and Kaguya clans could only be described as wonderful. Both sides rely on taijutsu to eat, and the fight is more exciting than the confrontation of ninjutsu. Although the soft boxing method has the word soft, it is actually violent, and the corpse veins are the king of melee combat. The two clans were evenly matched, and the Hyuga clan still had a slight advantage, mainly because not everyone in the Kaguya clan could awaken the corpse veins. TSK, I have to say that the fighting power of ninjas at this time is much stronger than that of later ninjas. Rixiangchen stood on a tall tree in the distance, watching the battle not far away. Rixiangchen looked at the Hyuga clan who was now slamming, and couldn't believe what he saw. That soft and violent horse. It can only be said that the Hyuga family at this time is indeed worthy of the name of the big family, far from being comparable to when it became a soy sauce party later. The two families fought for more than 10 hours, leaving dozens of corpses, glaring at each other, and then temporarily rested to prepare for the next battle. Chapter 172 Resurrection Ten Tails. Seeing the end of the battle, Rixiangchen left boringly. Just watching it was intense. Now suddenly stopped playing, very disappointing. Finding a remote place within the fire country, Rixiangchen stopped. Spirituality outside Golem. The outsider Golem far away on the moon trembled and persisted for a while before being forced by Rixiangchen, and the Otsutsuki clan who guarded the outsider Golem were stunned. Looking at the tall outsider Golem, a trace of greed flashed in Rixiangchen's eyes. Resisting the thought of swallowing the outsider Golem, Rixiangchen began to plan. He is a psychic Golem, who wants to complete the infinite monthly reading in this world and plunder the chakra of the whole world. When Rixiangchen knew that this world was a parallel world, Rixiangchen had this idea in his heart. He wants to complete what Kaguya Otsutsuki has not done, and take all the chakras of the whole world for himself. Being the enemy of the whole world, it's exciting to think about it. Rixiangchen looked at the sky and smiled lightly. Take out the chakras of the nine-tailed beasts that have been sealed in the body, and then use the magic dragon to seal the nine-tailed beasts to seal the chakras of the nine-tailed beasts in the outsider Golem in turn. After injecting the tailed beast chakra, the outsider Golem moved a bit, then stood up slowly, and began to come to life, changing towards the 10 tails. 277 Rixiangchen stood in front of the outsider Golem, quietly watching the changes of the outsider Golem. After a long time, the transformation of the outsider Golem was completed. Yangshan roared, and the huge three-hook jade reincarnation eyes exuded a blood-red light. Is it only 3 Gua reincarnation eyes? Rixiangchen looked at Shiwai's eyes, and there was no surprise or disappointment on his face. The tailed beasts are going to be recovered quickly. Presumably those old guys should also be alerted. Rixiangchen jumped to the top of Shiwai's head and controlled Shiwai to go towards the country of wind. Many people were shocked by the resurrection of the 10 tails, such as Otsutsuki Yue, Otsutsuki Yumura, Haij, and the great immortals of the 3 immortal lands. There were also those who heard the 10 tails roars, and they all felt extremely astonished. Big Toad Immortal Toad Maru opened his eyes and quickly summoned Immortal Fukasaku and Immortal Zima. Immortal Big Toad, I don't know why you called us. What's the important thing? Immortal Shensaku and Immortal Zima asked quickly, looking at the expression of Immortal Big Toad. It doesn't seem to be good. Anyway, it was the first time they saw a sad look in the eyes of the Big Toad Immortal. The Big Toad Immortal sighed. Alas, I see the destruction of the world, and a demon will destroy the entire world. Immortal Shinsuo and Immortal Zima looked at each other. Could it be that Immortal Big Toad is dreaming about the future again? But is this reliable? There is no need to doubt that the 10 tails who once destroyed the world have been resurrected. You should try to prevent the 10 tails from regaining their power. Be careful of a person named Rixiangchen, the Big Toad Immortal said solemnly. Seeing Immortal Big Toad's dignified expression, Immortal Shinsuo and Immortal Zima did not dare to be careless. It was the first time they saw Immortal Big Toad being so dignified. This is a disaster for the whole world, and we Miyamushan can't escape it, and now it's also for our life and death. Immortal Big Toad reminded solemnly again. Yes, we will immediately notify the people in the ninja world and pass the news on. Immortal Fukasaku replied. Afterwards, Immortal Fukasaku summoned the people who signed the contract with Emi on the mountain and passed the news. The news quickly spread to the entire ninja world. Almost as long as a ninja with a little strength, everyone knows that there is a person named Rixiangchen who will control a world-destroying warcraft to destroy the world. Slug Immortal, this news is true. Kainzu Pinkfan looked shocked. Yes, the former 10-tailed beast has been resurrected. As long as you collect the other 9-tailed beasts, you can get back all the power and have the ability to destroy the world," the slug fairy said softly. Zhu Pingjian's expression was not very good, and he didn't expect the rumors that the ninja world was buzzing, and he didn't take it to heart. It was actually true. "Slug immortal, what should I do?" Zhu Pingfeng asked anxiously. "Actually, the 10 tails are not invincible. The key is to resurrect the 10 tails." The voice of the slug immortal brought a hint of seriousness. "Does slug immortal know the specific strength of the person who resurrected the 10 tails?" Zhu Pirao asked hurriedly. "I don't know, but if the other party can resurrect the 10 tails, it will definitely not be easy." Slug immortal shook his head and said, "I will say goodbye to immortal slug." Zhu Pingfeng left with an extremely ugly face. It was about the safety of the whole world, so he had to prepare. During the period of uproar in the ninja world, Xianchen has already sealed the 1st and 2nd tails, captured the 7th and 4th tails, and is now looking for other tailed beasts. The whereabouts of the tailed beasts are indeed difficult to find, and Xianchen dispatched tens of thousands of wooden clones to search for them, only to find 4 tailed beasts. "Is Sanwei hiding in the sea?" Xianchen frowned. "If Sanwei is really in the sea, how to find it?" "The sea is endless, and it is very difficult to find Sanwei in the sea." "The little mouse in the dark, get out of here." Xianchen stretched out his hand and grabbed it, and a dark shadow was caught. "Don't do it, misunderstanding, it's all misunderstanding," Haij said embarrassingly, but his heart was extremely gloomy. Haij was extremely vigilant about this person who suddenly appeared and resurrected the 10 tails. "Do you know where Sanwei is?" Xianchen sneered and asked. "I don't know, I just passed by." Haij was more vigilant in his heart, and at the same time tried to escape, but the surrounding space seemed to be frozen, and it was difficult for him to move. "Since you don't know anything, then you don't need to live anymore." Xianchen's eyes flashed fiercely. Looking at the killing intent revealed by Xianchen, Haij truly felt the danger. The fatal danger. "No, I actually know," Haij shouted loudly. How could he be willing to die before he resurrected his mother? "Then take me there. If you dare to run, I'll make your life worse than death," Xianchen said coldly. Haij has lived for 700 or 800 years, and he must know a lot about the tailed beast, which is why Xianchen didn't kill him. Haij led the way, and he didn't know why the other party knew that he knew the whereabouts of Sanwei. "My lord, my brother just heard that there was a who resurrected the legendary beast, so he came here to defect to the lord," Haij said charmingly. When Xianchen heard the words, a playful smile appeared on his face, but he did not speak. "Sir, do you want to rule the world when you got the 10 tails?" Haij tentatively asked. "No, I want to become a 10-tailed person." Jinchuriki, launch the infinite moon reading, completely quell the war and achieve permanent peace. Xianchen's serious voice came. The voice seemed to be serious, but Xianchen's face had a smile that could not be concealed. Of course, Hai, who was walking in front, could never see him, and he was ecstatic in his heart now. "I didn't expect this mysterious man's plan to be completely consistent with his own plan. Wouldn't it be possible to take the opportunity to resurrect his mother?" Chapter 173, The Tangled Black Must. "My lord wants world peace?" "That's right. I'm tired of this kind of slaughter and chaos." The 6 Paths Immortals ninja is wrong. Chakra, instead of helping humans, has become the source of chaos. "I want to end all of this and let everyone get the benefits of illusion." "Everything you want." Xianchen stood on top of Shaiwai's head. His voice was flat but contained great power. "Your Excellency is working hard to achieve peace. You are really kind, and you are right to follow your lord," Haij said with emotion. "I don't know how the adults learned about the method of resurrecting this vicious beast." Haij glanced at Shaiwai with a look of fear, and asked tentatively. After experiencing the previous ecstasy, Haij felt that Xianchen's words were full of loopholes. He did not guide the other party. How did the other party know about the infinite Wei Yu and Juwei? These things are all secrets buried in history, and few people know these secrets. "I learned this from a friend who had seen a stone tablet left by the 6 Path Immortals and told me everything recorded on it." After looking at Haij, Xianchen said lightly. Feeling Xianchen withdraw his gaze, Haij heaved a sigh of relief. Just now he felt that everything was seen through by the other party. Haij silently led the way, and did not dare to ask blindly. The more he asked, the more the other party would doubt himself. No matter what the other party's purpose is, as long as the other party becomes the U-Tails person, he will never be able to run away, and his mother can be resurrected at that time. "What's the matter with your appearance? Isn't it natural?" Xianchen sat cross-legged on top of Shaiwai's head and asked softly. Haij was stunned for a moment, and then said, "My lord, I am born with a bloodline limit, because no one likes the black and black appearance, and I was abandoned at birth." "Oh. That's it. It seems that you are also a poor person," Xianchen said with a smirk. A few days later, Haij brought Xianchen to a sea area. "Lord Chen, Sanwei is in this sea area." Haij pointed to the huge sea area in front of him and said. Xianchen nodded, without Haij saying. He has already sensed the chakra of the 3 tails. "Haij, I want to know how you know the whereabouts of Sanwei." Xianchen looked at Haij with indifferent gaze. Haij was stunned. How does this make him answer? "Lord Chen, I knew it by accident. Haij could only forcibly find an excuse to prevaricate it. Xianchen glanced at Haij lightly, then stretched out his hand to aim at the sea. Tanyan. The majestic gravitational pull pulled up the sleeping three tails in the seabed, and before the three tails woke up, the 10 tails released the chains and tied the three tails. After sealing the three tails, Xianchen sealed the four tails in again, leaving the 5 tails, 6 tails, 8 tails and 9 tails uncaptured. Haij, it's time for you to show your role. Find the whereabouts of the other 4-tailed beasts. If you can't find you, it's useless. Xianchen Fengrui looked at Haij with sharp eyes. Haij heard the words with a bitter expression. He really didn't know where the other 4-tailed beasts were. He knew the whereabouts or Sanwai because Sanwai didn't like to move. But let him look for the 4-tailed beasts that can run, and Haij can't do anything. Lord Chen, how can I find the 4-tailed beasts by myself? Aren't you embarrassing me? Haij cried. Xianchen took a deep look at Haij. It seemed that he really didn't know the whereabouts of the other 4-tailed beasts. Then you can look for it slowly, I'm not in a hurry anyway. Xianchen left a faint remark, and then left with the 10 tails. He had asked Xue Ji. No matter how long he stayed in this world, it was the time he came to this world after he returned, so Xianchen was not in a hurry at all. After Xianchen walked away, Haij's face immediately darkened, although Haij's face was originally black. Xianchen, Hyuga, is he a member of the Hyuga family? Why doesn't he have a blank eye? What purpose does he have, and how did he know about infinity? Haij whispered. One question after another appeared in Haij's mind, making Haij unable to think about it. Haij wanted to revive Kikuya Otsutsuki, but he didn't want to have too much contact with the mysterious Xianchen. His intuition told him that Xianchen was very dangerous, but Haij didn't want to give up this good opportunity. He had waited for more than 700 years, and he didn't want to wait any longer. So Haij was tangled and didn't know how to choose at all. It took a long time for Haij to react, and he found that he did not have the right to choose, and the right to choose was all in the hands of Xianchen. I don't believe that you can beat your mother. When you become a 10-tailed man, it will be your mother's resurrection, Haij said fiercely. Haij never thought that Xianchen had never thought about becoming a 10-tailed man. He just wanted to use the power of the divine tree to recover the chakra, and then devour the power of the divine tree. Putting Juwei into the space created by his Tensogen, Xianchen began to think about the benefits this world could bring to him. In the Naruto theatrical version, there is a box of bliss, the final weapon of the 6 paths immortal period. Maybe you can find it and see if there is any in this real world. Xianchen squeezed his chin and said silently. After thinking about it, Xianchen went straight to the country of grass. He remembered that the box of bliss was in the country of grass, and he was very curious about the final weapon of the 6 paths immortal period, which was very famous. With Xianchen's speed, he soon came to the country of grass. There are also several families in the country of grass, but they are all small families that are not worth mentioning. If you want to find the box of bliss, you have to go to these families to see. There may be intelligence in those families, and perhaps the box of bliss is under the control of those families. Xianchen separated several shadow clones and asked them to search. And Xianchen caught a rabbit himself and made a roasted rabbit to satisfy his appetite. The night was very calm, and Xianchen sat on the roof of the house built with wood and dug, looking up at the sky. At this time, it was night, and the bright moonlight shone down, making the silent night a little brighter. He took a few branches and placed them in the brazier raised from the roof. Above the brazier was a golden rabbit with grease. Half an hour later, Xianchen lay on the roof with his mouth full of oil and closed his eyes silently, as if he had fallen asleep. Several figures came to the roof. One of them left a sealed scroll, and then turned into smoke. Xianchen opened his eyes and picked up the scroll next to him. I actually found it. Xianchen held the scroll in his hand with a satisfied smile on his face. After opening the scroll, a huge box appeared in front of Xianchen. There were faces on each side of the box, which were joy, anger, sadness, and joy. It looked very strange. Fear, destruction. Xianchen patted the box and began to study the material of this thing. Just now, Xianchen knocked on it and found that the material was very hard. I don't know if there will be this monster Wu in it, Xianchen said to himself. Chapter 174 The Monster in the Box of Bliss. Xianchen surrounded the box of bliss, beating against the box of bliss. I seem to have seen this kind of material before. Xianchen pinched his chin and thought. He always felt that he had seen this kind of material. Could it be an illusion? Impossible. Xianchen directly denied it. He didn't think he would have an illusion. Carefully stroked it, Xianchen took out a long knife from the treasure of the king. The long knife exuded a strange breath, and at first glance it was an ominous thing. This sword was obtained by Xianchen from the Kaguya clan, the demon sword Moromaza, possessing the power of evil spirits. He can erode others by the power of evil spirits, and it will also erode the master. After Xianchen took out the Yadao village, the Yadao village shook slightly, and then returned to normal. Although it was only a slight vibration, it was still noticed by Xianchen. There seems to be some connection between these two things. Xianchen frowned slightly, and then brought Yadao village close to the box of bliss. Suddenly, the box of bliss fluctuated, and Yadao village was submerged in it, which surprised Rick Xiangchen. The box of bliss trembled for a while, then opened automatically, and a monster flew out of it, but its appearance was not the same as the monster Wu in the original book. "Human, you freed me." The monster faced Rick Xiangchen with a ghost-like face. "What are you?" Rick Xiangchen asked lightly. "Ha ha ha." The monster laughed arrogantly and evilly. The wind surged around, and the dark evil power shrouded it, shrouding Rick Xiangchen. "You don't need to know who I am. As a reward for releasing me, become a part of me." The monster looked at Rick Xiangchen with greedy eyes. Could it be that people can be arrogant at this time? Could it be that they were locked up stupid? Rick Xiangchen looked at this huge monster with contempt. "Ignorance, give me death." The monster roared angrily, and then its huge claws grabbed towards Rick Xiangchen. The attack speed was very fast. In the blink of an eye, it came to Rick Xiangchen and tore him to pieces with one claw. "Ha ha ha, this is your fate." Rick Xiangchen stood high in the sky, silently looking at the monster below. "This brain is not good. I can't even see the avatar. It should be a problem with my brain after being locked for too long." "Forget it, let this guy die." So as not to be unsightly here, the huge power of thunder condensed in the hands of Rick Xiangchen, and finally turned into the shape of a long spear, and then threw it down at the monster below. Boom! After the thunder spear penetrated the monster, it burst open, and the powerful thunder and lightning raged. The electric man's here can be seen from a few kilometers away. After the thunder completely disappeared, the earth had turned into a piece of scorched earth, and the monster had fallen to the ground. Just when Rick Xiangchen thought it was solved, the box of bliss suddenly drilled into the monster's body, and the huge black and purple monster slowly shrunk, and then turned into a human form. "It's really thanks to you. You can call me Moromaza for freeing me completely." Moromaza cruelly looked at Rick Xiangchen with murderous intent and madness in his eyes. "Ah. I didn't expect to actually shoot myself in the foot. What a mistake." Rick Xiangchen shook his head. "This guy is called Muzzing, and he is obviously related to Yadao village. Maybe he won't take out Yadao village. Something will happen. Don't worry, I won't kill you. You are the best choice for my power." Moromaza smiled strangely. "Kill me? Do you have the ability to kill me?" Rick Xiangchen pouted in disdain. He devoured the power of the dog talisman and was immortal. What did the other party use to kill him? Moromaza didn't talk nonsense. He leapt into the sky, and two black wings appeared on his back. "You are such a waste. There is no chance to get close to me." "The field of repulsion," Rick Xiangchen said lightly. The powerful repulsive force forms a repulsive force protection circle around Rick Xiangchen. Anyone who approaches Rick Xiangchen will be bounced out by the repulsive force. Moromaza was no exception. He didn't have the strength to break through the repulsion circle. No matter how he attacked, he didn't have the ability to connect with Rick Xiangchen. "Ahaha, I'm getting more and more excited." Moromaza laughed wildly. A long knife appeared in his hand, and he kept slashing towards Rick Xiangchen. This long knife was the previous demon knife Moromaza. Facing Moromaza's mad shouting, Rick Xiangchen watched quietly, as if watching a monkey show. After half an hour, seeing the village is still continuing to attack, Rick Xiangchen was a little speechless. This guy is really endless, no different from a lunatic. "Finish you completely." A pitch-black longsword appeared in Rick Xiangchen's hand, which was a longsword formed by the Dao Jade. Put away the field of repulsion, and then instantly came to the front of the village, and slashed down with a knife. Kudeo has the power to turn people who do not have the power of the six paths into nothingness, and it is natural to kill an unknown monster. After the knife was cut down, a deep ravine appeared in the ground, and the monster Moromaza had disappeared, along with the box of bliss, leaving the demon sword village falling to the ground. Rick Xiangchen used gravity to grab the Yadao village who had fallen on the ground. As soon as he held it in his hand, the Yadao village made a cracking sound, and finally broke into pieces with a bang. "What is this?" "It doesn't matter if the box of bliss is gone, but the demon sword village is still being paid for," Rick Xiangchen said speechlessly. "Although Yadao village is at best a viewing item, it is better than nothing." This time, Rick Xiangchen was at a loss, a big loss. "I came here in vain, and I actually paid the Yadao village into it. It's really unlucky." Rick Xiangchen shook his head depressedly, and then went into the cabin to sleep. After dawn the next day, Rick Xiangchen stretched and then ran to wash up. In fact, he didn't need to rest at all now, but the habit that he had maintained for a long time could not be easily changed. After washing and eating breakfast, Xiangchen left the country of grass and went to the country of fire. In the land of fire, Xiangchen found a place to settle down, and then began to slowly search for the whereabouts of the tailed beast. Looking at the group of 10-tailed chakras in his hand, Rick Xiangchen began to close his eyes and meditate. 10 tails resurrected 5.5, and he finally got the 10-tailed chakra as he wished. Holding this ball of chakra, Rick Xiangchen slowly merged into his body, and then manipulated the immortal chakra and the power of the 6 paths of yin and yang, so that the 3 began to merge. This is also Rick Xiangchen's plan at the beginning. Rick Xiangchen was preparing to enter the 6th Dao level like this from the beginning. However, the plan couldn't keep up with the rapid changes. Unexpectedly, he drew the Eye of Reincarnation, obtained the Eye of Reincarnation, and swallowed the chakra of Otsutsuki village, and was directly promoted to the 6th level. However, although he has become the 6th level, it can only be said to be the first to enter the 6th. If he successfully integrates the 10-tailed chakra, the immortal chakra, and the power of the 6, he can cross to the top of the 6. So even if he became the 6th Tao level, Xianchen did not forget this plan. Now that all preparations have been completed, it is time to implement it. Chapter 175 Lessons. It is not difficult for Xianchen to integrate these three forces, but it is not easy, and it takes a lot of time. For more than 10 days, Xianchen has been merging these three powers for more than 10 consecutive days, and it was not until today that the complete fusion was completed. Feeling the quality of chakra in his body raised by one level, Xianchen smiled with satisfaction. Although he did not increase his combat power too much, it also increased, especially his ninjutsu. The power released is several times stronger than before. After combining these three powers, Xianchen breathed a sigh of relief, and then prepared to go to the system space to see Xue and the others. As soon as he entered the system space, Xianchen was stunned, only to see Xue lying comfortably on the chair, and Sarah pinching her legs in aggrieved. Seeing Xianchen in front of them, Xue and Sarah were also stunned, but they didn't expect Xianchen to come in at this time. Xue stood up immediately, her eyes were erratic, and her heart was very nervous. Sarah looked at Xianchen, tears of grievance flowed out, and suddenly fell into Xianchen's arms, crying, "Woo-woo, Chen. She bullied me, she asked me to pinch her legs, and if she didn't give me food, I would punish me if I didn't obey." Sarah cried to Xianchen, "Hey, when will I not feed you? Don't falsely accuse good people." Xue looked at Sarah angrily. "Xue, what's the matter? How did you bully Sarah?" Xianchen frowned and looked at Xue. "I was just playing with her, and I didn't bully her very much," Xue said in a low voice. "She didn't bully Sarah much, it was just that Sarah was timid." Sarah was angry when she heard this, and said loudly, "You locked me in a small dark room and pretended to be a ghost to scare me. Are you kidding me?" She has now been scared out of a psychological shadow by Xue. Xue smiled shyly, lowered her head and whispered, "It's not because you are timid. I don't feel there is anything to be afraid of." "Xue, come here for me," Xianchen shouted angrily. Seeing Xianchen's angry expression, Xue's body froze, and then walked over, looking at Xianchen pitifully with big eyes, trying to avoid this disaster by pretending to be pitiful. Although Xue looked pity to me. It was easy to arouse pity, but Xianchen didn't want to do this. He had to teach Xue a lesson today. Sarah was brought in by him to take care of her, but Xue actually bullied others and didn't teach her a good lesson. "I was wrong. Please forgive me this time," Xue pouted, her eyes twinkling like stars, and she instantly changed into a maid outfit. Seeing Xue's seductive appearance, Xianchen swallowed hard, then closed his eyes, determined not to be tempted. "Master, I was wrong, meow." "Forgive me, meow." Xue hugged Xianchen's arms with both arms and kept rubbing against her chest. Feeling the softness from the arm and Xue's soft and lazy voice, like a kitten, Xianchen couldn't help but glance at it. Then Xianchen couldn't take his eyes away, only to see that the current Xue had changed into a white cute cat costume, looking at him with cute eyes. "I didn't expect Xue to have such a side. She's really a little goblin," Xianchen said secretly in his heart. However, on the surface, Xianchen was still a gentleman, unmoved by external things, which made Sarah look at Xianchen with admiration. Then Sarah looked at Xue with contempt. Humphrey, seeing that Xianchen was unmoved, with a posture of insisting on punishing her, Xue snorted coldly, and immediately released Xianchen's arm, turning her head to ignore him. The clothes on his body were also changed back, making Xianchen, who had been peeking all the time, slightly disappointed. He regretted it in his heart. Anyway, he was not a decent gentleman in the first place, and he pretended to be a decent gentleman just now, so the opportunity to take advantage was gone, and Xianchen regretted his bowels. But it doesn't matter, since the one who delivered it to your door is not sure, you can only fight for it yourself. "Sarah, don't worry, I will take good care of her this time, so that she will never dare to bully you again in the future." "Yeah." Sarah nodded, looking at Xianchen, wanting to see how he cleans up Xue, and she looked relieved. "Xue, come here," Xianchen shouted in a deep voice. Xue glared angrily at Sarah, who was watching a good show next to her, and then reluctantly walked up to Xianchen. Old Gao, who pouted, was ready to hang soy sauce. In the face of Xue's eyes attack, Sarah stared back not to be outdone. "Anyway, there is Xianchen here. Sarah is not afraid of her. It's obviously you who bullied others, but looking at your current appearance, those who didn't know thought I was bullying you." Xianchen first reached out and pinched Xue's nose. "It was you who bullied me," Xue said with a pouted mouth. "Since you said it all, then I won't be able to bully you." Xianchen laughed twice, and Xue, who was laughing, panicked. Taking 2 steps back, Xue was about to run when Xianchen grabbed her, then pressed her on his lap and slapped Xue's butt. Snapped. Hearing a crisp sound, Xue looked at Xianchen with rosy ears and embarrassment on her face. It seems very unconvinced, doesn't it? I'll fight again if I'm not convinced. Xianchen raised his hand and slapped him again. Xue's face was extremely rosy. She didn't dare to raise her head at all, and lay motionless on Xianchen's lap. Xianchen didn't want to stop his hand at all, just slapped Xue series. This kind of soft touch made Xianchen feel unable to stop. Xue was lying on Xianchen's legs. Her eyes were like spring water, and the numb pain caused her to have a special feeling. I didn't expect that I would be inclined to be. It's a shame. I must not let that guy know about it, or he will definitely change his way to bully me. Xue thought to herself. Thinking of how she was being bullied by Xianchen, Xue's body softened again. A suspicious blush appeared on her face, and she lay motionless on Xianchen's lap. Sarah was standing beside her, and she could clearly see Xue's expression. Seeing Xue's blushing face and gritted teeth in a depressed look, she thought she was in pain. So Sarah was very happy and kept making faces at Xue in revenge for being scared. Xue looked at Sarah's grimacing appearance, but was relieved. Fortunately, the stupid girl Sarah couldn't see it, otherwise she would lose her face. Seeing that Xue was silent, Xianchen thought that Xue was angry, and the raised palm fell gently, stroking the place he just hit. Then he asked softly, "Does it still hurt?" Xue was stunned for a moment and then reacted. Listening to Xianchen's gentle voice, she felt a little sweet in her heart, and a little resentment she had originally dissipated. "It doesn't hurt," Xue replied sweetly. If you like this audiobook, subscribe the channel for more videos like this. Leave some comment and let me know if you guys like this story, or you have a web novel you like and want to hear its audiobook. I will be happy to create them for you. Please like, share, and leave a comment on the video.